Disney just can't seem to stay out of the news anymore, apparently, because I did 2 consecutive videos about the Little Mermaid casting. And just after that, and I already saw the story as I was doing those other videos. There was the story of Disney uh, banning a father, basically, from making a Spider-Man headstone or doing a Spider-Man headstone for his uh, late son, which was his son's final wish, by the way. He had his rare disease. He passed away. His final wish was to have the Spider-Man his headstone. And Disney stepped in and said, "No, we won't allow that." And it's I see people are outraged by this, and I'm just like, it's not gonna matter in the end to me, because there are gonna be people who'll defend them and then die on the hill for them and go see their movies no matter what. Now, me, I'll see some of their films, but and I know some people are gonna be like, "Ha, see, you'll still see it anyway. You can complain all you want, you'll see it anyway."
Pirate's life. There ain't no.
So yeah, blow me. Anyway, it's like the more these stories, I'm kind of glad stories like this are coming out. Although some people are saying it's fake. If that's true, then that sucks that someone would make something like that up. But Disney has a history of shitty behavior. That's why when Movie Bob did that video about Captain Marvel and saying Disney has no reason. Once again, I can't do a shitty Boston accent with like 3 ounces of retard, so you're gonna have to like bear with me. But Disney has no reason to buy out tickets to boost up a movie's sales. I'm like, they don't have a reason to do it, but they still can do it if they wanted to. Just because they don't have they also didn't have a reason. Again, like I said, they didn't have a reason to go to a theater that Quentin Tarantino had reserved for the Hateful Eight, and practically, I said in the video they bullied him. They bullied the theater into breaking their agreement with him, just so they can play The Force Awakens. They had no reason to do that, but they did it. There's a lot of they didn't have a reason to take down this guy's Star Wars fan film. It was that Darth Vader fan film that came out like a couple of months ago. They had no reason to take that down, but they can't. But they did it because they can. They have no reason to do a lot of things, but they do it because they can. Because they got people like you defending them and dying on a hill for them. The one thing I did notice about the situation is that the typical shills are pretty silent. Well, except Movie Bob. Movie Bob, he's the only one of the shills that spoke out and said, wow, this actually looks bad. And I'm just like, yeah, no shit, it looks bad, Bob. Of course. Thank you for stating the obvious. But I also thank him for at least acknowledging it. But Campea is insane. By the way, this is from what I've seen. I haven't seen these people talk about it. So if they have talked about it, let me know, because I haven't seen it. But Campea hasn't said a word about it. Fucking Collider, I don't think has said a word about it. Who else is it? Oh, Jeremy Conrad, who I'll be talking about in another video. He hasn't said. I don't think he hasn't said anything about it. The one that bothers me the most is Armin from Combo Cast 2. Now, I know I've trashed him a lot on my channel, but this especially bugged me because it's like, again, if you've seen him say anything about this, let me know, because I haven't seen anything about it. But this bothered me the most because he himself said on his videos that he's a father. He has a daughter or something, right? And that he does all these charities for sick kids and stuff like that when he dresses as Captain America or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, I would expect him of all people to speak out about to at least speak about it. Hell, you don't even have to condemn it. At least speak about it. But he's just silent about the whole thing, from what I've saw. And I'm like, dude, you of all people should be, as a father, you should have, you should be on this like white on rice. Like, hold up, what the fuck do you mean you can't grant this kid a final wish? Really? That's bullshit. I would expect, maybe, again, I'll benefit of the doubt, maybe he doesn't know about the story. I highly doubt it because it was trending on fucking Twitter. But, like I said, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't see the thing, the story. It's fucking Campia, I'm not even going to give him that benefit of the doubt. I'm pretty sure he knows about the damn thing. Jeremy, and same with Jeremy Conrad. I'm pretty sure they both know. They just don't want to talk about their Disney overlords. But it's funny. These same shills, minus Movie Bob, because Movie Bob talked about it. These same shills, though, they're quick to talk about that Ariel casting. The casting of Ariel. Oh, everyone's racist. They're quick to go. They quick to grab for that book of isms and phobics and say, "Oh, you're racist, sexist, so for all this shit." But it's like, well, what about this story? Nothing. Not a word. I mean, and honestly, this is the other thing. Speaking of that situation, like as I said before, Disney, they know what they're doing. You know, you mean to tell me the first person to kick off this not my Ariel thing was a fucking soccer account? That seems really suspect. Just like that fucking Facebook account of Down with Disney's treatment of Star Wars. And it's just controlled opposition. Disney knows what they're doing. They're playing you people for fucking fools. They know how to manipulate you. Guess what? And don't you think it's kind of odd that all of these racist, sexist, they all come out for Disney films specifically? I mean, you heard it a little bit with Ghostbusters 2016. People try to say it was also with Wonder Woman, like, oh, but Wonder Woman had it too. It was like, no. Wonder Woman. The problem Wonder Woman had was they had this one part of Texas had an all-female screening of the Wonder Woman, and men were mad, not because oh my god, there's an all-female screening, but because they wanted to see the movie and they couldn't because of the all-female screening. So how does that make those men sexist when they wanted to see the fucking movie? Does that make any sense to you? And I mean, to the stupid people, yes, it would make sense. But it doesn't make sense at all. To the logical thinking people, this does not make any sense. The other backlash with Wonder Woman is that in certain countries, they didn't like the fact that she was Israeli and they banned the film. And like a few different countries, they banned that movie. But you also didn't hear this with the Mummy. You didn't hear, oh my god, they have a female mummy. Oh. You didn't hear nothing about that. You didn't hear nothing about Atomic Blonde. You didn't hear nothing about all these other female-led movies and all these black-led movies. By the way, people love the new Shaft movie. These same people who scream about isms and phobics are not dying on a hill for the Shaft movie. That movie, actually, I heard was pretty damn good. I've heard tons of people say it was a good movie. Where's the book of isms and phobics for people who didn't like that movie? Oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's not woke enough. Fuck off with that woke shit. So sick of hearing it. If in case you didn't know, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't even tell because I'm recording this on a different phone and it says it's 7 p.m., which is obviously not. But I'm just really out of it. But it's like, oh god, it's like you don't hear that with these other films. You only hear it when it comes to Disney films. You heard it with The Force Awakens. There was some of it in Rogue One. It exploded with The Last Jedi. You heard some of it with Beauty and the Beast because they made LeFou gay. You're hearing it now with Little Mermaid. You heard it with Black Panther. You heard it with Captain Marvel. You kind of heard it with Solo when they made Lando pansexual. It's inevitable it's going to happen with The Rise of Skywalker. This is going to happen definitely. They're going to try to do it with the Lion King. You know, oh, you don't like it because you're racist against black people. Yeah, the lions, all the fucking... you just know they're gonna make it a race issue with the lions. Like, it's just these people are stupid. You realize that, right? You know, these people will sit here and tell you being upset about or not agreeing with a mermaid being black is racist, while also being outraged over the fact of over certain characters being not the color they were in the original source material. They were upset about Ben Daimio, but they didn't say nothing. This is Hellboy, Ben Daimio. They were upset about that, but didn't say shit to Sasha Lane, who played a white redhead. For some reason, Hollywood doesn't like white redheads anymore. They pulled this shit with Tiana when she was a few shades lighter than the original animated Princess and the Frog movie. they'll tell you it's so that you shouldn't be upset about it because it's a fictional character. But in the end, they're full of shit because they're just saying it's now because they got what they want, you know. And now this Little Mermaid, again, it doesn't seem strange to you that the thing that kicked this not my Ariel thing off, the thing that kicked this off was a sock account, and all these fucking people just bit the bait. Doesn't seem strange to you. Again, controlled opposition. Disney, and people just buy it every time. And guess what? They're gonna all go flock to the theater in droves to see this film out of spite. To see it despite the people online. And you don't realize that Disney's doing this shitty thing. You got people who sit here and see them buy Disney by Fox and go, it's not a monopoly. They'll say it's not a monopoly, while in the same comment section ask for Disney to buy Sony. This is of Disney buying Fox. That's not a monopoly. But also, can you buy Sony too? Like really? Like how stupid does one person have to be? Disney's got you. You pull your pants down right now. Look at your ass. There's a Disney logo branded right on that motherfucker. You just, yeah. And Disney, they're just gonna keep collecting money because you people just ignore this shit. Let it pass you by. You ignored the Quentin Tarantino shit. It took them to be this horrible for people to start realizing this. I'm like, this is nothing new for Disney. I mean, the Star Wars fan film thing, that should have been the big, like, what the fuck is you doing? You know? All the bullshit and the lies with Captain Marvel, all the sexist, like, no. What's that, where? Who are these sexists? Who are these people that hate women? I'm on 3 different sites, social media sites, and haven't seen not one. Disney is playing you for ticket sales. They realize that when they realize something's not gonna really make a whole lot of money, they're gonna play you and manipulate you into buying a ticket. And you already saw the guy. I wasn't interested in it until I saw Not My Ariel, hashtag Not My Ariel. Now I'm definitely gonna see it. See, you're being played. You're being played for a fucking fool. Guys like that are being played for fools because they know, Disney knows, we're gonna give them something to fight for. Let's make this villain, the sexist, racist, cis white, all this other bullshit, all these other words these people make up to make themselves feel better about themselves. We'll create this villain so they have something to fight against. And it's like, no, if you look online for a few minutes, you realize this is all stupid shit. A lot of this so quote-unquote racist is bullshit. You have zero evidence to go on other than they don't like the casting. Last time I checked, and the whole, it was only racist against this. Last I checked, I'm not a white person. I'm not white. Neither is the Amazing Lucas, and neither is Young Ripper. We're all 3, and I'm pretty sure there's more black people who are looking at this like, yeah, no, this is not right. So you go ahead and tap dance for your table scraps from Hollywood. We'll actually stick to our convictions and believe that. Why not just give us a new character? Why not just give us a new mermaid character that isn't Ariel? Like that. Like if they sat here and said we're making a new Little Mermaid movie, not set in this, not based on the original movie, but it's gonna be set in that world, like what Resident Evil did. Resident Evil did 3 CG animated movies that were not based on the games, but they were set in that game's universe. They could have did that with this character, had a new black, like no one would have, people would have been fine with it. A hell of a lot more people have been fine with it than they are with this casting. But no, don't worry about that. Disney's convinced us that everyone against this is racist. Okay, well you keep believing the company that's gonna keep lying to you no matter what. That's what this company does. It just lies and it is literally the Eddie Guerrero of fucking of Hollywood. It lies, cheats, and steals, and they profit from it every time. And guess what? This story with the father, it's not going to mean a damn thing. People are going to still see the new Spider-Man Far From Home movie. People are going to still see the new Lion King movie in droves, make that $1 billion. People are still going to give their $1 billion to Rise of Skywalker. It's not going to mean shit. none of this is gonna mean a damn thing. Because in the end, people will still flock to the theaters to see Disney films because they can't help themselves. Like, motherfucker, you better realize there's piracy sites out there. You better realize that shit. Stop letting these companies dick you around. And what kills me is these same people will still sit here and say Sony's the worst company in the fucking world, or Fox the worst company in the world. Which company is worse? The one that just made 3 bad Spider-Man movies and a Ghostbusters movie, and one executive throwing a sandwich at Kevin Feige. Wow, it's so horrible. A company that has made a few bad X-Men films, a few bad Aliens, Predators, all this other shit, or a company who sat here, bullied a theater out of breaking their agreement with Tarantino, a company that's taken down a fan film for bullshit copyright reasons, and a company that's doing this shit. We're banning a father from making a Spider-Man headstone for his son, all because they want to preserve their characters and all this other shit. Meanwhile, this same company went out of their... They care about the characters so much, but they went out of their way to erase their character, the X-Men and Fantastic Four, from existence, solely because they didn't have the film rights. They went out of their way to do that. They went out of their way to replace the X-Men with the Inhumans, which was a fucking bust, especially on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They went out of their way to erase the Fantastic Four. They went out of their way to not put them in any of the games, like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, seriously? You'll have Nova. People, they say, the Capcom made excuses for them, like, oh, we just want to follow the MCU. Last I checked, fucking Nova's not in the MCU, so why is he there then, if that's the case? You're full of shit. Disney and Marvel told you don't put the X-Men Fantastic Four in there. We don't want them in there. Don't do that. They made that was like the first thing they probably told him. Like, you can have any character you want, just don't do that one. No. To these drones, Fox and Sony are the worst things in film and worst thing in Hollywood. Meanwhile, Disney is doing all this horrible shit, and all these people worry about is seeing certain characters in the MCU, or what kind of pandering fan service they're gonna pull in the new Star Wars movie, and they'll go into the theaters in droves, forget this ever happened, and just keep like that's probably what they're waiting for. That's why they hadn't made an official statement about it, or had a statement or changed their mind yet. They're waiting to see if this blows over. They're waiting to see if this shit blows over so they can just go ahead and make the next fucking movie. Like, if this affects the box office of any of their movies, they'll probably say something. If not, then they go, fuck it. We don't care. Get mad. We're going to still make money no matter what. And your people are going to be the one giving the money to them. You're going to be the ones giving the fucking money up to Disney. I wish I can wake people up to this. There's only a few people who will just listen to this, or not just to this, people who will see the story and realize what a shit company Disney is. But in the end, it is not gonna matter, because you're gonna go see their shit anyway. You're gonna still buy their shit no matter what. You're still gonna line their pockets up, because that's just they got what you need. I ain't gonna do that shit anymore. I ain't gonna do that shit at all. So whatever I'm gonna see, it's gonna not come from my own pocket. I can tell you that right now. It's like you're a pirate's life, motherfucker, or someone else will be buying the ticket for me. I'm not doing. Other than that, my money's not going to them. No, the money's not gonna go in their pocket. We'll see what happens with the new Lion King and the new fucking new Star Wars film. That's probably gonna be terrible as hell, thanks to Rian Johnson, who took everything The Force Awakens built up and then tore it down in The Last Jedi. And J.J. Abrams is just like trying to rebuild everything. Oh, man. Yeah, just fuck Disney, man.